So it's like what 3 something, 4 something in the morning. I guess yesterday it would have been 2 around this time, 2:30. I'm still up, sitting here trying to. I ain't really trying to catch up on Love and Hip Hop, but I was just skimming through. I was trying to find Keisha Cole, but ended up on Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood, and I'm looking at season 4 with Soulja Boy on there. So I was just looking at some of that, and I don't know if it was me watching that or whatever. I think it was a mixture of that and maybe it's something else, but it might have been a mixture of. Well, I mean, it might have been some of that. When I seen April pregnant and not getting along with Omarion's mom, and the mom feeling entitled and saying she doesn't have to like her, and stuff like that. And I guess him feeling like he been put in the middle. And of course, it makes me barely think about and vaguely think about how I have not gotten along with my daughter's dad's mom. Of course, the boys' dad mom, she's deceased, but even when she was alive, you know, didn't like her either. I, to me, I don't feel like they have any valid reasons. I think his mom might have had a more valid, but they don't have no. To me, they didn't have no valid reasons to not like me because I didn't do anything directly to them. But just seeing how his mom was like, I'm the number one, I'm the top priority. I mean, that girl is pregnant and that's his girlfriend, well, at the time or whatever. Um, and she was saying that it was just crazy to me. And she was still trying to validate that lady's feelings and stuff. Baby, that would never, even with my daughter not being here, so I'm not finna do none of that. I'm not finna sit here in front and none now. Like I said, I feel like I had to be careful because being that my daughter was, to me, I felt like vulnerable and, yielding to certain stuff. Like, I just didn't want to, I don't want nothing to happen to her. And I wanted to, because again, these are people that made sure that I aborted the first child. So, who's to say what they would be willing to do regarding my live child? And I went on years previously just saying over and over, y'all ain't finna do a live abortion on this one and this, that, and that. Was ranting and raving and all of that. So I feel like, oh, now this is the time to definitely shut my mouth because she in that environment. Like, I just feel like you never know if somebody get pissed off at me and they want to try to take something out on her. And even before where I heard her dad say, because he got mad at me for whatever I was saying to him, I'm going to send a little MF a walking home, and he didn't, I mean, I guess I told her about it, but to me, she didn't, I guess, take that as no type of threat. It's fine to forgive people, but she didn't take that to me seriously, as I guess, or as serious as I thought she should. And it was years ago or whatever, but anywho, I just started feeling angry watching that and just thinking about, like, y'all really got my child, and I haven't seen my child in over a year. Been up close and personal with her. And again, granted, she's old enough, she's got a mind of her own to where she can say, hey, whatever she wanted to say, but made the decision to, oh, mom, I'm thinking that you're going to snatch me up. And I'm like, what? But anyway, then just thinking about the time when I did go see her, how she let her, I mean, them tables definitely had turned in a way that I was just like, oh no, this is real ugly. But, and I never expected nothing like this to be going on. I never expected him to even try to take full custody. I did want and hope that he would just say, I'm going to do right and take care of my daughter. I'm going to contribute to the household. I'm going, be trustworthy enough to take her take her with me, spend some time with me, and of course bring her back. And of course, not to mention how he said that. Oh, I'm gonna tell them judges I don't want full custody. I this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, and I got the recording. I just never put it on here. But at this point, I'm definitely just I got angry, so I'm just like, Lord, please help me to, help me through this process. Just deliver me before I get in something that I don't got no business. I'm not saying I'm going to, but potentially when it comes to my daughter, my children, period. And just asking for deliverance, and then just God to help me because I haven't felt like this. I've had bouts, small, very small bouts of it, but I haven't really felt like this. But for whatever reason, today's March the 14th. I don't know what that means. I don't know if, last year this was the time when they was that household or whatever that he was in, had my daughter in, was getting shot at or whatever. I know she said it happened in March, and I had like talked to her in May or something like that. So I don't know, but I just started feeling angry, and I'm just asking God to help me and deliver me because, and definitely I'm asking the Harasi and Ashika Nahai so they stay Nahai so, but I just pray that God hold him accountable for the words that he spoke. I don't know if he's been going downtown or talking to his lawyer or whatever, but I just pray God hold him accountable for the words that he spoke. God heard him say, just like I heard him, but God heard him say, and God is my witness, that, oh yeah, I don't want full custody. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be trying to spite me at all. And then other things just saying that, oh yeah, you trying to scam money out of me. Nothing about me wants none of your, you know what I'm saying? I want their money for the household. When my daughter is here, and just for the simple fact that, you know what I'm saying, be a man, be a provider, shouldn't be an issue. But as far as me wanting his money, absolutely not. Can care less. Don't even want to be connected to him, of course, but definitely want my daughter. So anyway, just feeling angry and just asking God, hold him accountable. God knows the words that he spoke. Um, and just for the lies, the deceit, the games that's been played, all that, and then just being, I feel a type of way that them even being able to just tell my so-called people, oh yeah, we want to make her feel like she made us feel. I mean, for one, as a team, y'all want to do that, and y'all don't realize that that's spiteful. At this point, I don't even be wanting to realize it's spiteful. At this point, I kind of want them to remain in. I feel like I want them to remain in ignorance, and so they can continue to act in ignorance, and you know what I'm saying, trump up stuff against them. But I don't know, maybe that's mean of me or whatever, but I just feel like I don't never want your ass to be no type of wise, because I feel like you had more than enough time to get with it. And you just want to continue to be stupid. But I just don't want that to affect my child in a negative way, because, my feelings, and that could lead to me speaking that type of stuff or whatever. But I definitely want accountability without delay. I'm thankful for the breakthrough as far as my daughter reaching out here recently, but now, of course, it's like that I'm truly still a mother of three, and my three living children, and I've said that before. And I pray to God continue to keep her alive, and yeah, God knows what to do regarding that. But seeing people send cash apps and stuff to my child, and I don't know who this is, and all of this, that's my parenting style is I'm gonna know what's going on, who you talking to, who you communicating with. I don't know what he know, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that he doesn't care. I just feel like he been stunted so much to where he probably don't ask about stuff like that. But I could be wrong. He could be asking the right questions or whatever, but he had already told me, and maybe it was just to taunt me, but had already told me, yeah, he literally said she gonna be having sex or using the F word. You know how many girls I've been with, and I'm like, well, I'm glad it's girls, because at a point in time you told me that you like dudes, so or you prefer dudes, should I say? And like he hurried up to try to tell me, confide in that, like somebody else was gonna beat beat him to the punch. So I'm glad it's girls, but at the same time, just because you think she's going to, what I'm saying, your intentions is for her to go down that path because you did some stuff. Understandable that, what I'm saying, things happen, and sometimes the kids are the ones that go through the stuff that not some of the parents, but the parents have done. But for you to like flat out plan that, it was just diabolical. It's ugly to me. I'd be trying to do everything and make so many sacrifices to make sure that my kids don't go down that path. I was trying to sacrifice to make sure that I maintain the relationships with the dad and stuff like that. Bottom line, I know that sin, it's it is what it is. It's gonna eat you alive. It's like you did these sinful things. It's just you cannot choose you chose your actions, but you cannot choose the consequences. And I try not to be mad that the consequences of my action have tried to catch up and take some kind of toll on me, but I do be like, Lord, even still, I know that I belong to you. I know that you created me, so I'm trusting you still to bring me through. And so, again, even with dude reaching out to me the other day and kind of encouraging and stuff like that, that was good. And like I said, to break through. And I don't want to communicate with him. I don't want to talk to him about nothing. Don't ask me, have I talked to my daughter? I had a dream about him saying you talked to baby or whatever, and I'm guessing that's definitely what they was calling her and stuff like that. But um um but don't ask me nothing because I'm not dealing with you in that aspect or whatever. And there used to be a point where I hated for it to be like that, or I never wanted it to get like that. I feel like a lot of people definitely wanted, oh, well, what's she doing right that she can still communicate with them and with her children's fathers and this, that, and the third? Why she ain't, just like when our Wendy's store got robbed and stuff like that. When I was working when I was younger, um, it was an inside job and all that stuff or whatever, and I was at the front register. Everybody else was either in the back on, or at the wherever they was at. They wasn't at the front register. I was. And when it happened, see, and God knows me, 'cause that stuff terrifies me, just the thought of it and everything. And it could have been a robbery gone bad, but thank God that it wasn't. They just really wanted money. They wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And that's the thing, even with it being an inside job, that person don't know if them people gonna get scared and end up trying to hurt somebody. And again, ended up being somebody that's bloodline related to me that participated in robbing the place. How crazy is that? I'm just like, man, and he don't have my same last name and stuff like that, but he was, or does he? Hold on, let me make sure. I don't think he does, but yeah. Anyway, I was at the front register, and then they put the rest of the people in the cooler or the freezer or whatever, and they was like, they pointed a gun, came in swinging a gun. I think it was two or three of them or whatever, and they put them in the freezer, and they was like, yeah, we was waiting on you to come in the freezer. And they was like, yeah, we was wondering where she was at. And I'm like, I ain't, so it made it seem like I knew something about it. No, let me tell you who knew something about it. God knew something about it. Somebody was praying for me. I'm not saying that nobody else was getting prayed for, but I knew I always been set apart and just like kind of separated, um, and just different. But yeah, somebody's praying for me while I work at this job, these dangerous places where people tend to, they get these crazy ideas that they want to rob places or whatever. And I was positioned at the register, and when I the dude who was in on it that I didn't know about, he helped me to jump over the register and stuff like that, and we got out of there. I hurried up and didn't even know he was in on it, of course, until after or whatever. He ended up doing the time, but it was like, oh yeah, we was waiting on you to come. Waiting on me to come for what? I mean, naturally, I understand we all work together, so. But why, if somebody else, I don't know. I'm not going. I don't think I'm gonna be if the roles was reversed. I'm gonna be saying, "Ooh, we waiting on such and such to come in here." Where what? That's what y'all thinking about doing a robbery and stuff? Oh no, waiting on somebody else to come in there and join y'all. That right there, and that's how it's been with me. It's like they want me to do the same stuff as them, but yeah, honey, y'all not trying to come up to the level that I'm at, and y'all not trying to do what it is that I want people to do as far as at the time getting along, raising their kids, everybody included in a healthy way, not a toxic way and stuff like that. No, y'all want me to, again, it's always to get down or lay down. And it's like, but what if I don't though? What if I don't do either one of those? What you know what I'm saying? How are y'all gonna feel about that? So, and even with, it being well, I can't mention it right now. I wanted to, but anyway, God spoke to me about something, let me in on something. It's like, that's what y'all want, something bad to happen. I will say this, where my daughter's so-called dad's brother was like, yeah, you a failure too. And it's like, you feel like you're a failure, so that's when you want to start trying to bring somebody down with you or whatever, and you want to see them. They wanted to see me make mistakes, all types of stuff. Of course, people was eating this up, loving the fact that, oh yeah, her daughter ain't there, and this, that, and just whatever else. The so-called neighbors was ready to say something, ain't say nothing the whole time, but yeah, but soon as, what I'm saying, soon as I mentioned something that was really going on, that's why your daughter ain't this, that, and I'm like, keep your mouth off my life and like, stop being so invested. And so, because you're not healthily concerned. If it was a healthy concern, that's something different, but you're not. And to me, of course, they're too old to be mad and doing all that craziness anyway. But, but that's just how I feel. But definitely felt angry. I feel a little less angry after speaking about it, but I'm still like, I miss my child, and she's growing up, getting older and stuff like that. I never purposed to not be in my child's life. And honestly, like I said, I did do something that I feel like contributed, and I even felt like I was preparing for something, but I never would have guessed that it was to be away from my daughter, and especially for this long. But I thank God for it was preparation, and it was like allow. I'm gonna say allowing, but I'm not gonna say that He approved of. Because I'm just not gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie on God, but definitely I feel like a parent. It's like a parent that, oh, my child messed up, chose to do something, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna allow. Even though I'm gonna chastise, I'm gonna allow them to. I'm gonna allow her to. I don't really know how to explain it right now. It's just a parent that just knows their child is gonna choose to do this or whatever. Of course, being all knowing God. So, and I didn't even know that I was going to choose to do it. So, again, with me feeling like I contributed to, like I said, I still never guessed that this would have happened. And again, He prepared me by me not speaking with my daughter at that time for a couple of days or whatever was going on. And I wasn't acting funny. I was just, that's what I felt like I needed to do. I felt like it needed to be done in that moment. Looking back, if I can go back and change it, would I change? Would I try to change it? Yeah, but for whatever reason, it was just, I'm not talking to her. But would I change even what I decided to do? Absolutely. I feel like I would. I don't feel like it was worth it at all. Um, and that's probably about one of the things that I feel like I regret. Like, but either way it happened and it is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up about me making a mistake because I had to learn that too because I used to be real hard on myself. I had to learn that, I'm okay to make mistakes or whatever, but I still, as a believer, I need to make sure that I'm choosing the ways of God, the righteous ways. I want to say as much as possible, but I'm just going to say it's possible. It is very possible to choose God and choose what He has for you. Again, I'm not finna sit here and say it's easy, but I'm just saying it's just possible. Period. So I'm not finna make no excuses, and I had been doing it and trusting God. It's no need in trying to stop and try to go my own way and stuff like that because yeah, this right here, even though I'm not feeling it you know, like people probably think I should. I feel it. It's still it's real to me that my child ain't been here. My sons talk about her all every now and then, and it's definitely different with her presence not here. And just not and I definitely didn't think I wouldn't be talking and communicating with her on a regular basis on the phone all the time every day and stuff like that and just being involved in her life. But and so yeah, at this point, I haven't been trying to forget about my child at all. I just be trying to take it day by day, definitely, and just I wasn't necessarily trusting God to bring her home or anything, but I'm definitely trusting God to hold. I'm trusting God to hold people accountable for their words that they spoke, more so than I am trusting Him to bring her home. But I do pray that she is kept safe and just hope, everything is okay with her and better. Um, but that's my maturity level. I'm not worried about them, but as grown people and adults, to help make the world a better place, they need to carry and conduct themselves in a certain way. And even his so-called mom, like she need to be held accountable. But one thing about it, God knows their level of understanding, and if they even have a care or concern to even have a relationship with Him. So that's what it's about. And me personally, I could care less. I feel like I could care less whether they ever have a relationship with God. I feel like it's just too good for. Honestly, I feel like it's too good for people like them that want to do stuff like that. But the bottom line is, it's really for people. It's for everybody, but it's definitely for people like that who's like sickly minded and ignorant and stuff like that. and liars and don't keep their word and stuff like that. So if you're gonna judge righteously, and that's what I do. I'm not afraid to say that's just it is what it is. I know the Bible say, "Judge not lest ye be judged," and that's what it said. Judge not lest ye be judged. And I know that, honey, for one, we all got the answer to. I don't want to say pay the piper, but we all got an answer to the one that created us, and that's on period. That's whether you believe it or not. Because again, if you cease to exist, bring yourself back. Like the pastor that I was under always said, bring yourself back and don't use none of God's resources. Period. Don't use no resources that's already, but you go ahead and just you try for yourself and see how that works. And baby, I ain't trying it, but I feel like it's some ones that's bold enough out here that think they can do it. Oh, I bet I can do it. And especially with all the witchcraft that's rampant and stuff in this world. And that's one thing. I just didn't know that I was dealing with folks that really actively engage in just blatant witchcraft. I didn't know. I didn't know. I know better now, and I know a lot more than what I used to. But I still barely understand what be going on. Like, why do y'all want to do that? Why do y'all? And honestly, I'm looking at the black community, and that's why I don't get wrapped up in BLM and stuff like that. Because I'm just looking like, okay, we went through, look at the history of what black people went through and stuff like that. And this is what y'all want to do? I'm talking about the people that I've been around. And then even some that I ain't been around. This what y'all want to choose to do? Seriously? So that's how I feel or whatever. And I'm just sitting here still playing my little Soda Crush game. And just, I'm going to feel my feelings. So whether I'm feeling upset, happy, this, that, and the third, I'm going to feel my feelings, but I'm going to try to quickly, instead of me dwelling on it, submit it to God and let Him do, and just submit my mind, will, and emotions to Him. That's what I do. And then, make sure I was still at least thinking about the boys' dad at one point in time. But I don't know, that whole thing doesn't make me as angry and disappointed. Like his actions when he did that with my boys, of course that pissed me off. But just my whole dealings and stuff with him, I'm not trying to say I give him a pass, but it's just something about him that I just be like, now somebody did a number on him to where I have certain sympathy for him. And I do feel like my daughter's dad, and no, my daughter's so-called dad, mom, did a number on him as well. But she like really babied him in certain ways. I don't feel like my boys' so-called dad was babied like that. I think at one point in time he was, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it with him. But I just feel more like he was more so perverted by, and that's not to say that my daughter's so-called dad wasn't either. But he was definitely misguided, but I just feel like he was perverted, and I don't know, I just feel like he got more of an excuse. But not, and that don't mean that he does. He could be the one that's supposed to be definitely carrying more of the weight. And honestly, he just might be, but anyway. And my so-called daughter's dad is the one that's more remedial, should I say. Anyway, I'm feeling better, like I said, and anytime I can feel even the least bit better, when it's something like that, I'm like, yeah, because like that's when I literally be feeling like, oh baby, whose property finna get damaged? Cause and then of course worse, who's probably finna get damaged, and what's gonna happen after that? But like I said, I'm just gonna try to maintain what peace I do have, because it's got my daughter brainwashed, and I care about her feelings. So even if I was to be around her and I so-called grabbed her up or snatched her up, girl, we'll discuss that later once I get you to safety. But I definitely respect her. But yeah, I got two other children I got to be concerned about, and it's like, how do you choose something like that? Like, how do I don't have no favorite children. I love all my kids. So, you know, if I could, I'm going to try to save all of them, and be there for all of them. But anyway, it's kind of weird, and it would have been nice to have somebody to talk to about this and give me some feedback and stuff like that. But it's me here, quiet house, peaceful house, boys sleep. I'm definitely going to talk to God. I'm continuing to submit that to Him, because I just don't want them type of issues in my life. Didn't want this type of issue to begin with, but yeah, I just don't want that in my life. I definitely don't feel like it should be like this, but this is what's going on. If ever I was a time that I might feel some kind of jealousy, this would definitely be it, because yeah. Anybody that might have their children, definitely embrace them, love them. Even when my son came and hugged me the other day, he was like, I know I don't hug you much, but yeah. And I was just so grateful. About 2 days ago, my older son, and it's because we be in the house all the time. We together every day, and it's like you don't feel necessarily. I don't necessarily feel the need to hug them because I wake up with them, but it really is important. Hug your kids, love them. My daughter, when she was here, I definitely tried to hug her as often as I could. It definitely wasn't every night, but as often as I could. Definitely told her good night, checked on her and stuff like that. So I don't feel like I dropped the ball when it came to that, but I definitely feel like she think her dad is the better parent, and I'm not in competition with him nor jealous if he's the so to speak jealous, so to speak better parent. But I just feel like, of course, the material things and of course, when you have your mom that is right there with you up close and personal, or when you can get over on a female, you can get up in her household or something like that, and you can do it. I don't have that. I wasn't trying to get over on the male that I was involved with. I was trying to actually be a family with him, work it out. The boys, the so-called dad, and include and still raise my daughter with her dad at one point in time, with her so-called dad. Um, and it just they seemingly didn't want to do that with me. Then, for whatever reason, they didn't agree. He didn't agree and walk in that agreement with me, and so it just never came to that fruition that I thought and wanted to see. Um, I definitely still be hoping for change, but of course, my focus is now is like, honey, I just want that relationship with my daughter. I ain't worrying about y'all, what y'all got going on. I ain't in competition. And I'm trying to purpose not to hate y'all for, this whole it's a hostage situation and beyond. And, it is what it is. And people, I've always known them to know how to get over on people. I remember they used to have card games and stuff where, them house rules, baby. And so just never thought that they would. I'm not gonna say I never thought they would do it to me because I seen that early, but I just never thought that that would happen to me. That they would like be allowed to kind of have me at their mercy or whatever, so to speak. Because I damn sure ain't turning no flips and cartwheels or nothing for them. And I'm barely losing any sleep, thank God. But I'm up now, and I'm not tired anyway. But I'm up and about feeling angry, and well, trying to come out of a place of anger real quick. So to God be all the glory. The gates of hell shall not prevail. And it's going to continue to ride this thing out and seek the Lord, trust the Lord. It says, seek the Lord while he may be found. I need you. And last night I went to sleep and I had just listened to all that ratchet stuff and all that, and that was like trying to penetrate me. And I'm like, oh no. And I seen some of it today where I had left off when I went to sleep. Just knew I was gonna wake up and not wake up early first thing in the morning, but to get up and listen to it again. I said absolutely not. I cannot hear no more of them girls calling each other bees and stuff, and they are twin sisters, and it just was like, oh, y'all can't talk to each other. Y'all do not know how to call each other by their name, by your name, and talk to each other in what I deem regular way. To them, that's the regular way. Like it was just rolling off their tongue like it was nothing. So, that agitated me. But okay, so it's just 34 minutes. I am trying to kind of look at this clock, watch some Love and Hip Hop. I'm not finna get caught up in that either. Not trying to watch all them episodes. I just was trying to find Keisha Cole because and then that was earlier tonight. I was feeling a type of way. Like I love that song "Long Way Down." And I didn't realize, or not, I think I knew back then, but I didn't remember and recall that dude who was in the video was her now ex-husband, but at the time fiance. And because I just was not invested like that, I might have seen it and still forgot about it that quick. I just was not invested, but I went listen to the song and I was just like, oh, okay. And she was kissing all on him and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. So then I started trying to tune into Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but I still don't see her on there. I see Ray J and all of them or whatever, but yeah. I just thought it was interesting or whatever how she had him in the video, and then I started whether it's I was finna say something that this person used to say to me all the time. I started like drifting off, um, thinking like now, this is a forever video. It's always gonna be there. They can always see it. So whoever he be with in the future gonna be able to see that he was, all up on Keisha Cole and they was kissing and stuff in the video. It was just cute. That's forever. But then I went on to see that he had confided in her or whatever the case may be, that he was actually dating somebody or trying to be with somebody on the show. Well, during the taping of the show. Yeah. And that's how my mind started to wonder, because I'm like, man, I used to be, of course, one to say, well, couldn't be me, and you better than me, honey. That's been me, and and now, shoot, I gotta say, I'm better than some out here, cause it been me all up and down and more. It's been crazy. It's been wild. But anyways, so thank God for keeping me, protecting me. If anybody come across these videos, hopefully people that know the words of prayer, not nobody that's trying to pray on, not necessarily me, but just even, cause a downfall or anything like that. But yeah. I just pray that my situation gets better than what I'm experiencing right now or enduring and encountering or whatever. But I truly miss my daughter. I really do. And I don't want to feel like I got to spend the rest of my life, however long that is, saying that. I just want to actually be interacting with my child. And yeah, no, I don't want the riffraff and the confusion regarding her dad, her so-called dad or whatever. And you wish you could just go back and do things or take certain stuff away like you never did before. But you did, and this is what I was warned of. I can't say that nobody did not warn me or anything like that about not him, not necessarily him specifically. Maybe him though, but just the behaviors that led to me having a child with somebody that, oh gosh, can't get along with. Then I just see all these baby mama and baby daddy scenarios. April and Omarion, Fizz and Moniece that I didn't know about and pay attention to before. And you just look at how that stuff turned out, and they do be trying to just. I see some of them try to definitely be cordial and stuff like that, but I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say it's fake at all, because I've been there, definitely trying to be cordial and hoping my feelings ain't hurting because the next person moving on to somebody else or whatever the case may be. But this stuff is screwy. It's screwed up that it's definitely tried to become the norm. And people just be like, oh, my baby daddy, my baby mama. And I still to this day be like, ooh, Mm-mm. That ain't cool. That ain't hot. So, anyway, with that said, I'm off this thing. I'm feeling better. Thank you, Lord. Ooh, I want to feel a whole lot better, a whole lot more relief. I want things to go in my favor in the way that I want. But I submit to your will, Lord. To God be the glory. Replenish me, empower me, continue to make me whole, fix me. Definitely watch over, keep covering my children, make them whole, replenish them in those areas they need replenishing, relief, and I'm gone.